Welcome back to another stream. Today we are doing the aftermath for mathematics, and if you don't know what these aftermaths are, just essentially where I talk about how like a booking went or how like a gig went, and it's just sort of like a little bit of an aftermath as to how the actual sort of like feel of the gig went, and sort of like it, what happened at the gig, that kind of thing. And yeah, what can I say about mathematics? It was an event that actually sort of surprised me. I'm just trying to think about moving the camera just because of that sunlight. Um, if there's a way I can just get away from the sunlight, I think maybe I might have to put the camera here. A little bit of a different view, but there was like a real bright light, even though it's raining outside. Yeah, so mathematics really surprised me as to kind of how the event went, because it was only really like supposed to be a little birthday thing, and it had a really good turnout. It did really well for what it was, and everybody that came had a really good time, and everybody enjoyed themselves, and that was really fun to see in itself. So it was really enjoyable just to see that people were just having a good time, and really enjoying the vibe. And I know the owner of the nightclub was very pleased, with people, the people that came and obviously celebrated his birthday and stuff, which was obviously a really good thing. They all came to celebrate obviously what was his birthday celebrations. So the event started at 7, and I think I got there probably for about maybe 10 past, quarter past 7 or something like that. So it was a little bit of a pain for me, because I'm obviously not on till 9, but because of I was going on the bus, because of the way the buses work, if I didn't get like the bus that I got and got like the bus after, it would have made me like late for the set, if that makes sense. So sort of had to get the bus earlier, but it meant that I got there a little bit early, so I had I was at the event quite early. Which I don't mind arriving to events early, because I do like supporting events, and I'm not one of these people that like to turn up and do a set and go home. I'm one of these who, I like to come to an event and sort of see the majority of the event and catch the other acts playing, and I like to be a part of I just like to be a part of the event, and I just don't like that turning up, doing a set, going home. But sometimes I don't like to be too early, like to the point where you're coming in like as soon as the doors open, because it can be quite like there's not really happening here. There's no atmosphere, because people don't always come like the second the doors open. So it was a little bit of just sat around the place being quite empty. First guy didn't really have many people for his set, which first sets don't always have that many people, unless it's like a big event and they're saying, "Oh, arrive early," blah blah blah. So obviously, what I was obviously going to say is I was just, like I say, just sort of sat with a drink, and the first guy who was on the decks, he actually did a really good job. He really brought the night in, and he played house music, which wasn't a bad choice, and he played a little bit of mixture of like some tech house, but he also played like some old school house as well. So, for example, he played Pete Heller, Big Love, which is absolute classic. He played the original, I Love You Baby. He played just some absolute classics. He played a song that I hadn't heard in I don't even know how long, and I can't remember what the song's called. Um, I don't know if it might have been "Sugar Is Sweet." I think that's what the track might have been called, but I hadn't heard it for ages, and the system was nice and loud, and it sounded so good, and he just played so, some absolute belters. He played "Sea Trouble." I forget who did the track "Sea Trouble," but yeah, he just eased in with some absolute belters, and just absolutely stole the show. It was a really nice way just to warm up the night. People are coming in. You've just, it's almost like the night's not even really started, and you've just got a guy sort of supplying some music while people are coming in. And it was like a real nice just way to introduce the night. And then the next DJ comes on at 8 o'clock. And I don't like to bring DJs down, and I don't like to sit there and I guess what you could say is bag off other DJs, because that's not me. But this guy, he could have done a better mix. I think the mixing just wasn't that good. The levels were all over the place. The actual format of the set just didn't really go together, and he started off with an absolutely belting like hard house tune, and I love it myself. And he cut into a remix of Sweet Dreams, and it just didn't flow that well. And then he actually played his first track again and started bringing that in, and realised he's already played that, and then went on and played a load of other stuff. Like Hard House and Bounce, and some old like Andy Whitby stuff, and it just didn't really flow. The levels were just a little bit all over the place, and it didn't really get the vibe of the party going, because a few more people had come in by this point. It was only really people that like personally knew him, that were like sort of just listening to his set and catching a few videos. But I no disrespect to the person that was on, but just didn't really go down too well. And I don't think I didn't really like the set. I liked the tunes. There was some hard bounce in there. There was some belting drops that you can't help but just go like that to. But some of the mixes, the levels just weren't right. Some of them just come in at the wrong time. He tried to double drop on some of the tracks, and just didn't work. He just didn't blend them properly. And like I say, I don't like to bring DJs down, because I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm the best one here, because I'm not. There's people out there far better than me, and I'm up and coming myself. But just when you're actually able to sit there and listen to a set, and you get that vibe off of it. It just didn't sound the best. It could have sounded better. And then I come on after him, so I follow at 9. Obviously, I've planned a set for this, and I don't go with the planned set, because that's how it always turns out. But there's nothing wrong in doing that. There's nothing wrong in going for something different. But all I'm gonna say is I really enjoyed the set, and I got the dance floor going. I got the people moving. I got the people enjoying the vibe, and I really enjoyed the set itself. It was a really proper, enjoyable set. It was it was really good. There was a really good vibe to it that I just absolutely loved. It was a pleasure to spin for them. So obviously I'd gone with a bounce set, and the bounce set was it was very vocal. So I changed my original intro tune to the Pitch Invaders Open Your Eyes, because I thought, let's get some feel good sing along songs on, because I liked what the first guy did, and a lot of people could sing along to some of the stuff he played as well. So I thought, I'm gonna come in with bounce. But I was glad that the second guy did go a little bit harder, because I thought, like, if another guy comes on and he plays like house, or like something slower, or like tech house or techno, I'm thinking like, is this really gonna be the night to start dropping donk? But because he went like a little bit harder and threw some donking as well, it made me feel like, yeah, I can go with donk uh, because the thing is, obviously, like I hadn't got no house on the USB stick, so if I had of like, oh, can you go a bit slower? No, I can play bounce or I can go into hardcore, which is even harder and faster. So um, it wouldn't have obviously worked. But yeah, so I started off with Pitch Invader, Open Your Eyes, and then I went into like your sing-alongs. We had Died in Your Arms Tonight. We had we had a new remix of Disco Land. There was loads of stuff. There was Ashem's You've Got My Lizard. There was Benjamin's remix of Sweet Child of Mine. Benjamin's remix of Somebody to Love. There was loads of great sing-alongs. You know, loads of great people that loads of great songs that people would know and sing along to. And the set went down, like I said, the set went down a treat. People enjoyed it, and I think it threw people off as well. I don't think people expected it because I walk in and obviously I'm just sort of sat there minding my own business, a bit quiet, not really dancing, not really getting into it. And then I just go behind the decks and I look like a madman that's had about a gram of cocaine. And obviously I haven't. I just get real excited and have good energy. And it's like it comes out on me when I'm behind the decks and I feel like I become like who I actually am. So they see this guy who's just sort of sat down, not really doing much. I mean, obviously I know some people at the event, a few friends are there, or people, let's say, who I at least get on with, who I've like seen at other events and stuff. But there's some people there that have never seen me before, people that have never met me before, people that don't know me, people that didn't even know I was a DJ, just a guy who comes in and sits there and drinks a a pint of coke, and don't really do anything, don't really get involved. And then, like I say, I jump behind the decks and I start around, and this real like feel good energetic set comes out with loads of vocals and obviously no MCing, which is obviously like a good thing on my behalf, which was enjoyable. And then the next DJ after me, he comes on and he actually follows really nice and really well, but he comes in with a little bit more of a clubland set and actually just really does this like clubland set. And again, I don't like to pick on DJs, and I don't like to pick and like run DJs down. But this next guy, he played a banging set, but some of the mixing just wasn't good to the ear, and he tried to do some like live double drops and mashups, and they didn't. Some of them just didn't work, and it sounded like some of the tunes clashed. But people was having a good time. People enjoyed it. People was having a good boogie to it. There was stuff like Kelly Lorena, Tell It to My Heart, Flip and Phil, Shooting Star. There was some absolute belters in there. Alice DJ, Better Off Alone, York on the Beach. Went with a proper like clubland sort of like anthems set, stroke like trance tunes. Big shout to Steve. And then the guy who followed. Now, what can I say about the guy who followed? For me, absolutely smashed the pants out of the set. So this guy, I think his name's Gridmaster. He comes in, and I don't think I've ever seen this guy before or played alongside this guy before that I know of. I could be mistaken. I don't know if he did that one of the other fusions. I did a fusion and I can't. It might have been on there, but anyway, he comes in and he just fires this proper filthy, sick, heavy jump up drum and bass set, and I don't know where it came from. But honestly, this drum and bass set was oh mate, it was honestly, it was the dog's bollocks. This drum and bass set was absolutely filthy as hell. Every drop was just so different and heavy and unique, and then there was a bit of old school D&B in there as well, and then it was back to a filthy drop, and it's just one of them sets that, you know, just absolutely captures you. And I definitely, if anybody took up any videos of that set or pictures, definitely would have caught my bass face at some point, because I remember one time I was sort of near the decks, and I take a stroll towards the like the bar and towards the toilets, and there's a guy, and a drop comes in, a massive drop comes in, and I just proper like proper like whoo, like proper. And people were like, "Whoa, you like your D&B?" And to be honest, like, I don't mix D&B, I don't spin it, I own a little bit of D&B, but like I say, I don't really spin it, and I do actually like it. I do enjoy it, and I do love a good jump up set. And I do appreciate people that spin it, because it's not it's harder than mixing like your normal UK hardcore, because the you know, the beats is obviously that like rather than that like, do you know what I mean? So I do have respect for it. I've tried mixing it before, and to be honest, I've not been like horrible at it, but like I just sometimes just not been that good at it either. But to the point where I think I can do it, but like I enjoy it, but because I don't know too much about the songs, and I just don't to know too much about the genre itself, other than the fact that I've MC'd to it before, and you know, I've listened to it if it's been on in clubs. Um, you know, but again, like, I don't know too much about the scene and the artists. Like, I know a few artists out there, like Innovator and stuff like that, and obviously like Shy Effects and stuff from the old Jungle days, and you know, some other names will probably ring a bell as well. I know Chase and Status did quite a bit of D&B. I know Examples just done some lyrics over D&B as well. I seen it on Instagram, but you know, going back to it, it was just a filthy set. And then Lily Healy from Hull came on and played like a bit of Donk Scouse House, and went into some like hard chancy drops as well. And just did an absolutely amazing set as well, which was really good to see. And there was some belters again in there. Played a tune that I'd already played, but sometimes that can't be helped. And the set after it was Gareth Davis came on and did some like bounce, but it was like real trancey bounce, and some real good drops in there, and some real good vibes, and it was just really enjoyable to listen to as well. And that's as far as I got. I actually went home after. After that set. Well, like sort of midway through that set, because I knew obviously today is the big day, Sheffield, and I was actually shattered. I was actually sat down in the venue, and I was thinking, do you know what? Like I could go to sleep here. Like I was sat there and I was thinking, do you know what? I actually feel tired, to the point where I thought I want to go home. So I got my lift home and came home. Had about two mouthfuls of a cup of tea. Just quickly checked the phone, and went to sleep. I was shattered. I could have fallen asleep on the way home, in the taxi ride, but the driver was like literally, honestly. Apparently he was a DJ himself, and you know, when like, because you tell him you're a DJ and that's it, sparks off this big conversation, and he literally talked to me the whole way home, and then he put on these mixes in the taxi of like mashups of like chart tunes and R&B songs, and told me how he used to DJ in Ibiza, but his wife told him that he's too old to do that stuff now, and he has to pack it in, and now he's a taxi driver. And oh, it was just you know, it was nice to talk to, but you know, when you can just tell that, yeah, this guy's making this stuff up, you know, he's not telling the full truth here. It's like I sometimes make tunes, you know, at home and stuff, and I'm just thinking, yeah, all right, mate, like, yeah, but you're just going along with it and having a nice conversation, um, and stuff like that. And then I think he got the vibe that I wasn't really sort of a guy who mashes up like R&B songs and like, yeah, I might do a donk remix of one, and then he comes out with like, do you know Andy Whitby? And I was like, well, like I don't know him like real personally. Like I probably know him to the point where I've seen him that many times he'll recognise me, and because the layman knows him, and I go with the layman quite a lot of the times when it's been events with Andy Whitby on. It'll probably like sort of know who I am, but just we're not on a level where like I'd ring him up and go, all right, Andy, how you doing? Do you know what I mean? So like I do know him, like, but I've only like seen him in venues and stuff, and I've never like really personally texted him, or like I said, we've never had a phone call. I shook his hand in a club and stuff, and it's about as far as it's gone. But yeah, so it was a belting vibe. It was enjoyable. What more can I say? What more can you want? Do you know what I mean? Than to just go somewhere and have that enjoyable vibe. So yeah, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. We're at ELL's birthday bash tonight, so I'll be doing a good aftermath on that. So yeah, like, comment, share.